Swirl Force Surf Ace. I didn't realize I owned that. Hang on. Owned. Well, that's the washer styling. That's the default style. Okay. It tells me that I own all of the default stylings. Regardless. That's a bit weird. But we don't actually have that. Flatted surfaces at short range. This is the one with the disc. That's right. It seemed pretty rubbish, quite frankly. So I don't care too much about that. What add-ons do we have here? So we've got the 1500 entry-level washing experience here, then the X1 mentions power comparable to medium-duty washers of its competitors, but at a cost to the area of effect. That's the bit that I haven't quite figured out, whether it's a narrower track, but if so, still feels worth it, honestly. Like, if the green is the equivalent to the yellow of this, but it cleans off tougher dirt, then that's fine. There's the turbo nozzle, adaptable nozzle, that's interesting. Long and extra long extension. So if we're setting ourselves any rules for this run, if we're wanting to keep things basic, obviously we've got the choice of 2 washers already. And I feel you're a mug to not use the urban where it helps you. I feel you shouldn't be allowed to buy any of the upgrades for the higher level washers until you, like, you should have to buy this before these unlock. These should be grayed out. Interesting that the yellow gloves are the default, but it's the blue suit that's the default, huh? Well, it says to access free play jobs in the shelf, so let's just do that. Okay, I don't have to actually start one, it just tells me about it. And it says 0 out of 60, so I guess we can redo them. This is the thing I saw in the demo. So it feels like you can redo them to get more cosmetic points, which is interesting. You redo them in free play to do that. And this one's out of 97. But then it's like 60 and 97, we already have that amount. We got them from going through normally. So it's weird. Do we go through them again and get more points or what? Maybe we worry about that later. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to hold off on doing anything in free play at all until I'm like completely finished the career, I think. My thought is that we go through and see how we get on with like not getting a more expensive washer at all. We do the cheapskate run where we just buy very minimal upgrades, like either none or we get the extensions, right? We get the extensions, maybe the turbo nozzle and stuff, which honestly I doubt I'll even use because I don't really like them. But we don't actually upgrade washers and everything. And then, same as we did with the last game, come back and go through free play mode with like the most expensive washer just to blitz through and see what the difference is. Alright, with that in mind, why is my cursor down there? There we go. It gets stuck sometimes. Okay. Power Falls campsite. Cleaning a campsite. Let me know when you found the place. We're already headed for home. Camping's not for us. A pair of boggy sprogs and one grubby hubby with no mood to hang about. Don't really know what else to say about it. I suppose the muck tells its own story. What? Well, if you're going home, why are we cleaning this? It's like a cabin in the woods. That's ominous. I guess it's nice to... I just noticed a little tooltip that came up that said you can sell currently owned things to free up funds. That's good. So that means you can get rid of your old washers and stuff in order to buy the newer ones if you want. Okay, the gnome is all the way over here. So the gnomes are a thing again, spying on us. But I can't reach him. I have a short extension. I can see you watching me, but I can't hit you. And I can't select you either. How creepy. I'm not a fan of that. Seems we bring our cats along for the ride, though. Just sitting over here. Alright. We have a telescope. I'm wondering if there's anything that I'm meant to, like, clean first in this job. But I think I'm just gonna do what I started with and just start with the lantern. And then just work our way around. We've got stones that we're cleaning for some reason. Stepping stones. Why does it matter if they're clean or not? I don't know. This music is honestly kind of appropriate. It's from, like, World of Warcraft, the sort of troll kingdom and stuff. Might have Zandalar. I mean, these are conifer forests instead, but probably the closest that I'm gonna get. Probably needs more of a Grizzly Hills vibe than Zandalar, really, but I'll take it. I swear the main thing I miss about playing World of Warcraft more regularly is just the music. That's where I feel that this game does miss a trick a little bit, is I feel they could have maybe worked to get their own soundtrack going. Just some, like, lo-fi beats to power wash with, essentially. I don't know. If likes of Planet Crafter can do it with their tiny development team, I feel that any game should be able to do that. What do I miss? Classic. What am I missing? It sprays the exact spot that needs to be cleaned. Like a game like Truck Simulator or something, I get that they don't bother with having anything more than just menu music. Like there's nothing for in the truck. They expect you to play your own music to drive to if you want to. I kind of get that. I'm going to guess I need to have this on the yellow, really. Actually, no, it's probably the overhang bits that aren't clean, come to think of it. But the main thing with Truck Simulator as well is because it's an open-ended game. There we go. So, you would have to have a lot of stuff in a soundtrack to be able to make that work. But something like this, you could have a slightly different ambient track per map, or like per setting, like per region perhaps. Campsite or outdoor setting should have a slightly different thing. What the hell is going on over there, by the way? It's like a ley line. Is that meant to be the, like, stream of whatever the hell it was, water energy that was from the ancient statue? Like, beaming towards the palace or something? Or no, it was going to the volcano, wasn't it? I wonder if that's meant to be that. If so, kind of cool, but I didn't expect it would still be going by now. It's a bit odd. So it's that, or it's a ley line, and we're actually in... Oh, what's the name of the zone? I can't remember. There's the zone in the southern part of the Dragon Isles. I didn't spend enough time there to know what it's called. Azure something, I think, because it was the like blue dragonfly area. The windows are not wanting to clean for some reason. I think I just wasn't close enough. Yeah, there we go. Good, so that's the shed done. Maybe? No, frame column is apparent. Oh, I haven't done this whole side. There we go. Easy. Nice. Okay, what do we work on next? Fireplace, maybe? Do what we can to do the sides that are facing us, at least, of the campfire setup. We're going to have to get down prone, probably, to do the undersides of things. Yep, now we can do the other sides. There we go. The kettle moves as we hit it, which is kind of fun. but it's kind of annoying when it comes to trying to clean it. We've got the hook, we've got the chain, we just don't have the kettle itself. There we go. Okay, I'm going to need to do the... Oh, each stone is a ding? Ooh, that's going to be fun. Oh, we'll do what we can from looking from this side first of all. It's a very shallow fire pit, I guess, but I guess that's fine. Ding ding, nice. Alright, so now the stones are going to be a lot easier. What's still left to do on the lantern? There we go. It's a bit cramped with the seats around the outside here. I haven't done the tops of these properly yet. Okay. This is a bit of a disorganized way to go about things, to be honest. I should have done things much more comprehensively from one side before moving on to the next. Got a little bit carried away there. Not the most efficient job in the world. But we got there. I think that's everything except for the trim now. Oh, 20%. Camping is just something else, huh? It's almost like you're living in some lawless wilderness. Kind of, yeah, I guess. Thought I'd make us pots of delicious porridge to eat after mushroom picking in the woods. Okay. Where's this going? We'll find out at 40%, I guess. And I hope you knew what sort of mushrooms you should and shouldn't be picking in the forest, because that can be a fatal mistake too. Good, bench number 1. I like the crazy paving. They left their cooler behind, what the hell? Got any beers in there? Or just a thermos of coffee, maybe. I'll take that, to be honest. They call it a cooler, but I mean, it's an insulated thing. It can keep things hot, too. Kind of shades of the treehouse level a little bit. A little bit more simplistic. I wonder if I can go inside the cabin as well. Is that going to be a thing? Is this where the psychological thriller part of this game starts? And did I clean these hinges? Yes, it seems so. Good. Can be hard to tell sometimes. We'll need to get the other side of that probably, that's facing inwards. Yep, there we go. And then this should be done as well. Good. And now the stand. Stand by me. Yeah. I'm gonna guess it's got a bit of rust on it, which is why it's a little bit stubborn. Okay, well, it'll need to be done from the other side probably. Let's finish this bench and the cooler off as well, because I got a little bit distracted there. Because the barbecue started to just give me dings, so I got a bit distracted. Yeah, that's the cooler completely done, I believe. And that's the log bench done. Oh, it's segmented. Okay, interesting. The outer bit certainly isn't, but the floor areas are in segments. Interesting. I mean, I like that, but it wasn't clear what lines that are segmented down by, though. Was there a seam that I missed, perhaps? Yes, there is. Oh, yeah, I see it now. Hard to tell when it's covered in dirt, funnily enough. Ding, ding. Alright, now before I forget as well, I need to do, yeah, the inside of the stand. Good. Other stand is done. Excellent. Top of the bench. Top of the bench to you. There we go. We got back from all our porridge had been eaten, even though hubby likes his stone cold, and I like mine boiling hot. Our kids' porridge was there for the taking, as they like theirs somewhere in the middle. Okay, so this is like a Goldilocks illusion for some reason? Sure. Why? Why not, I guess. So I don't mind the talking. This is from Civilization Call to Power, and there's like a weird militaristic speech halfway through the intro. Doesn't really fit the setting, but... oh well. It is a cool intro regardless. Just one random chair sitting outside. Go back to the legs. The cushion is already clean, looks like. Good. Missed the fact that it dinged. It's the lantern. Alright, what next? It's a little wooden stool for stargazing. Here, telescope stool. Stool? Can I use the telescope? Funny that it moves when I spray it. I appreciate that. Also, don't power wash a telescope. Please. Please don't. Why are you making me do this? Yeah, let's got the stand. And why didn't they take this with them? Because I feel that, like, this is not something that came with the campsite, surely? Well, maybe it did. If it's got a dedicated stool, maybe it did. Maybe this was meant to be a stargazing expedition or something. Stargazing experience camping. And it wasn't quite for them. Can I look into this? That should be upside down, shouldn't it? I guess not if it's got a reflector in it. Interesting. Anyway, I think it's just the main building and stuff now to go. So let's do our... okay, well I tried to jump onto the roof from the stool, but it didn't want to let me run. There we go. No, okay. Oh, there we go. A little bit of mantling. Always like to do the top first. We've got the chimney, of course, with a filter, which is nice to see. But honestly, probably shouldn't bother with the chimney at all. But then there's no electricity here, so can't have any other form of heating, I guess. We can do the other parts of that from down below, probably, because we just want the upward angle now. We're up here to be able to get the angles that we can't get from the ground, right? Okay, well, apparently that was enough anyway. It's quite an oblique angle that we're firing down at that point anyway. Again, let's focus on why we're up on the roof, and that is to clean the bit that's hard to reach from the ground. There's a brighter red on one side than the other. That is interesting. I guess the side on the left is probably exposed to the sun more. Clean about halfway down and then we'll get the rest from the ground probably. And pathologically I always want to clean everything about every element that I'm currently working on, but let's be realistic. Good, got the ridge. I think that's important. Keystone and the trim will be something that I get from the other sides, I'm fairly sure. Yeah, let's get this again about halfway down. Should be good. Because now it's starting to get too steep to clean very well from this way. So now we just do it from this way. You can just stand on the stool, in fact. There we go. And yeah, we'll do yellow. Bit of extra reach. Also from where we're standing, we'll probably do it using the extension. But it seems to be cleaning it fine, so no real problem. really need the extra elevation from the stool, let's be honest. I can just stand right here. Excellent. Something else that's weird about camping out here. Everything has legs, even the logs. Sorry, what? I beg your pardon? You mean the twigs that comes off logs from where branches were, or what? What are we talking about here? I'm mildly concerned now. Here's the capstone. Staring into the sun a bit. That's not good. Hopefully I've got a polarized helmet. Okay, trim still isn't properly clean. Let's do yellow. Yep, I was not cleaning something quite properly, that's why. Why is this one not up? Because I haven't done the other side yet, that's why. That's fair. Halfway along. Do the window next. Ah, the frame was included. Okay, there wasn't a separate window frame. I thought there would have been. Okay, we have plumbing at least, so that's a start. Must be a sink or something inside. I think I must also go inside, right? I didn't actually try the door. But 69%. That's, yeah, still a lot to go. More than just what the exterior would give, I'm fairly sure. Trim, wall, and then pipes. Excellent. Other pipe this side as well. There we go. Good. Maybe I should have come down a little bit more from the top. Is the trim done? Excellent. Maybe it will be enough. Up to 74% now. I'll be surprised if we don't go inside, though. Pleasantly surprised, but I don't want every level to have an indoor component. So far, even for the delivery van, we've had to go inside. Good. And lower trim, we'll have to get low. Good. Wall. Good. Skirting. Good. Right. Yeah. Keystone. Good. Lantern. I really appreciate the fact that things do move when you spray them. I used to have that with the pretty much just the gnomes, I think, were the only thing that really... Oh no, there's the buckets, I think, on the ancient statue level. I guess maybe as they got further with their development, they added more things in, but never really went back onto the previous levels. Was one thing I did feel with the original game is, as they developed new maps, and I think they kind of refined their technique a bit, they could have put things back a little bit. And they did, to an extent. I think they redid the playground level in terms of the dirt mapping and stuff, but not enough, I feel. There were a few others that felt they could have done with a bit of a redo. But instead, they've just taken what they've learned and brought it forward to the new game, which is fair enough. This is actually a bit tough on these, so... Yellow nozzle for the yellow wall. Be nice if I could move the chair. I feel I should be able to. Okay, let's try and do the obvious parts first before worrying about whether or not I need to come back and do more elsewhere. Okay, I do. Fine. I was just in the crevices. Yep. Good. That corner post is not a separate piece. Right, door and windows. Window. Actually need to go out and wash our car at some point. It's meant to be a nice warm day today, so it's good weather to do it. Door number 1. Door number 2. Good. And the frame is done. Everything's done there. A lot of boot prints going in and out. Please wipe your paws. Okay. Find those sorts of things mildly irritating. I haven't heard anything more from the guy about camping and why the logs have legs. I've heard of the hills having eyes, but not the logs having legs. Weird that it's got this sort of edging around the outside, but it's just gravel on the inside. Not sure about that. Which is now being turned into a pool. And there's a corner block that gets cleaned on each corner, which is interesting. I think I would have just put it going along there and then just having that adjoining, to be honest, rather than having corner blocks. The corner blocks should be on the inside there, potentially, with this bit going on the outside there. Dunno. Whatever. Why am I nitpicking their engineering? I don't know. Oh, 97%. This must be it. We don't go inside. Maybe we don't solve the mystery. Guess not every mystery has to be solved. Which is a lie, because no, every mystery has to be solved. Especially in a game, don't introduce something you're not going to tie up the loose end of. Ding, 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 and corner block. Right, chimney flashing and shed frame, apparently I missed. Interesting. Chimney flashing needed to be done from the ground, makes sense. Cabin is now finished. And shed frame. Ah! I didn't do along like that. Yeah, there we go. Oh, and fire pit floor now as well. Why didn't that show up before? There we go. Job complete. Shell stone. Is this spruce spring clean? Your friend Harper says you'd be up for helping out. My house is nothing short of a national disgrace. Okay, our first house. Cool. Let's look at the time lapse though. Zoom, 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 zoom. Yeah, it's a decent thing. I guess they could have done a slightly higher angle, looking down a little bit more, but pretty good. All done. Just heard we've got our deposit back, and after watching the amazing video, I'm not surprised. Incredible job. Hopefully the bear or whatever it is didn't wake up and bother you. We left it sleeping in the lodge and didn't know whether to mention it or not. Okay, thank you. There was something in the lodge the whole time. Alright. Well, Goldilocks didn't bother us, so that's fine. Go to home base. I'm guessing it's going to be a little cabin trophy this time? Yes. Yes, it was. That's a cute little model, actually. I like that. I do really like how they're doing that with little cabin, or little trophies. Furniture catalogue. Anything else for free? No, but we do have whimsical lamp. Evoking what might happen were lamps to finally achieve sentience. Okay? I don't think I want to know. Let's move on.